Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl, Mary Jane. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would be greatly appreciated. Please comment, share the videos. So let's get into it. Power Season 4, Episode 4. We start off with Tommy waking up at Tasha's house, you know what I mean? Because Ghost asks, Tommy to look out after the kids or whatever. But we know Keisha is upset because she wants to know why, Tommy's all over at Tasha's house, basically. And she's texting Tommy in the morning and she's just like, where are you at? What are you doing? And all this other stuff. And she's feeling insecure and jealous of Tasha and Tommy's relationship. Ultimately, Keisha being jealous is going to have, Tasha questioning, Keisha's loyalty ultimately might get her killed. And also, Tommy's going to be questioning Keisha's loyalty because he's already been warned that she is the weakest link. So, if she's the next person to get killed, or is Joe Proctor going to get killed? Or Angela? Let's move forward. So, anyways, we get to Ghost. He's in prison. He's locked up and he's working out. And then the guard comes in, and the guard is none other than, Charlie Murphy, RIP. And he tells, Ghost, the last inmate that was in here in this rec room got killed. His windpipe got bust open, wide open, while, lifting weights or whatever. And so, Williams says that no one don't give a fuck about anybody up in here. Once you're locked up behind bars, nobody gives a fuck or whatever. And so, Ghost, he looks up towards the camera, and Williams is like, these cameras don't work at all. So, because if they did work, they probably would have found out what happened to the inmate last year or whatever. And so then, Charlie Murphy puts the weights down on Ghost's windpipe. Ghost is trying to fight to get it up, and then Charlie Murphy releases the weights from Ghost windpipe, and then Charlie Murphy says, pull up your skirt, bitch. Charlie Murphy, love him. So anyways, we get to Angela. She's in the FBI office, and Sax says to Angela, oh, what are you trying to do, get this case thrown out before it even begins? And like, he's questioning Angela. And then you got Sax. So then Sandoval, he jumps in, he goes, yeah, Angela, what's up? And so then, John, he jumps in. He goes, I told Angela not to investigate the traffic stop. And then Sax is like, when do Angela actually follow directions or order from her superiors or whatever? And so then, Sandoval is like, yeah, Angela, what else did Ghost say to you when he pulled you over at the traffic stop? And Angela was like, nah, he just said that they're trying to frame me. Greg is trying to frame me and all this other stuff. So now you have two of her comrades questioning her behavior and questioning her efforts. And so they leave, and then they all agree that they want, Ghost to get the needle. And so John, he asked Angela to stay behind so he can talk to her, and he was like, yo, you not following the rules, you derailing, you doing this might actually help us. So we have to find a new target, a new way to go, a new angle. And basically it's Tasha, to get Tasha to say something, to get Tasha to switch up. And so Angela's like, I don't know, because Angela feels that Tasha's never going to snitch on Ghost. She's mad loyal to Ghost. But we'll see if the heat gets hot in the kitchen and all the money's cut off. Will Tasha switch up on Ghost, or would she just pretend like she's going to work with the FBI agent and then get on the stand and defend Ghost? We'll see what happens with that. But we know their money and their access is going to be lost. So anyways, it is what it is. But you know what? They're not talking about Josh, because Josh also says that he wanted to snitch on Ghost. So when is Josh going to make his appearance? And what information does Josh have on Ghost that could ultimately hurt him? We'll see. So anyways, John says the gun that we took from from Tasha's house is clean. So the gun's clean. There's no bodies on it. None of that stuff or whatever. So anyways, you got, Terry and Joe Proctor meet up with Ghost inside the prison, whatever. And so, Terry's trying to question Ghost and trying to see if he will be able to stand trial, trying to question him like, oh, so you hanging around with felons and all this other stuff. What are you, Mother Teresa of the hood? And then, Joe Proctor, he jumps in. He was like, yeah, he says he's the man of all the homeboys in the industry or whatever. And so then, Ghost is asking Terry, what, you don't believe me or whatever? Whose side are you on? And so then, Joe Proctor's like, don't take it personal. And then Ghost is like, how can I not take it personal? It's about my life. This is about me. And then Ghost gets upset and he's getting mad. And then that's when Terry jumps in and says, see, angry black man, if you show this side of yourself on trial when you take the stand, what's going to happen is no one's going to believe you, and they're going to believe that you killed the FBI agent. So basically they are trying to, coach Ghost just in case if he takes the stand, which the FBI agent should have coached Donovan before he took the stand, because he took the stand and he became an angry black man, which helps Ghost's case. And so, the gun is gonna get tossed out. So now you got the DNA tossed out, now you got the gun tossed out. So what else do they really have? And so here we go. So anyways, so they're coaching, Ghost for trial just in case. And anyways, Terry's doing a good job, but Joe looks like he's kind of lost and he's kind of confused. He looks like he has a lot on his mind, that he's not as focused as we have seen Joe Proctor in the past. So Joe's going through some shit right now. So anyways, Terry is just letting Ghost know you can't be on the trial and be an angry black man, or you show any, angriness, or, people going to think that you did kill, Greg Knox, the FBI agent or whatever. So anyways, so Ghost asks, Joe. So after Terry leaves, Ghost asks Joe Proctor to look into Williams, the guard, to see what happened a year ago with an inmate getting killed. And he also want Joe Proctor to find out about, Teresi, the money drop, and Roberto, the guy that supposedly Teresi murdered. So we'll see what happens. So anyways, we get Julio. Julio asks Cristobal, are you on Dominican time? So I thought that was funny. So that's why I said something. He was like, are you on Dominican time? And so, Cristobal says that, nah, I went to go pay my respects to Domingo. I got a question. Do you think Cristobal and Sandoval are related? Because they do kind of look alike, and their names are all ending in the same, tone. So are they related? Do they know each other? It seems like that might be a catch. So anyways, moving on. So anyways, Julio is acting like he don't know what's going on, because he really doesn't know what's going on. He didn't know that Tommy did this. So anyways, Cristobal is just like, yo, your man can't be doing that to my boy. He's out of control. And he was like, yo. And so Julio was like, yo, I'll talk to Tommy or whatever. And so, Cristobal was like, it don't seem like you two on the same page or whatever. Now my soldier can't work and earn money. And he was like, yo, if Tommy don't trust you to do your fucking job, why should I trust you? So now, and also Cristobal says you just don't receive respect. You gotta earn respect. So basically it's like Cristobal is searching for someone in the inner circle that he can possibly manipulate and basically kind of like take Tommy Egan out. So right now he's noticing that there's some confusion between Julio and Tommy. They're not on the same page, and maybe there's room for him to enter this situation. So, and also get revenge for his boy Domingo. And we see Dre plays in on this situation as well. And so also Dre didn't show up with his money. Everybody else showed up with their money, but Dre didn't show up with his money because Dre is trying to play games to let Julio know that he's not in charge, even though he's supposed to be in charge. And then he's letting Tommy know that, Julio's not in charge. So it almost makes like Tommy to question Julio, is he the right person to be in charge of the situation? Because he didn't handle the disrespect that Domingo did, and Tommy had to handle it. And now Dre is late with his money when everybody else is showing up with their money. So we can see that Dre's manipulating the situation as well. And Dre is either going to go for Julio's spot, or he's going to try to go for Tommy's spot. And he might have an ally in Cristobal and Cannon. Because, Dre got to do something. Because if Tommy or Ghost finds out that, Tariq is hanging out with Cannon and Dre knew about it all along, his life is over. So anyways, moving on. And so, Tommy meets up with Tony Teresi. No, Tommy meets up with Joe Proctor, whatever, and Joe Proctor tells, Tommy what's going on, that, he has to make a drop to Tony Teresi's family. Have you heard of this guy name before? And, Tommy's like, it sounds familiar, but what are you talking about? So Joe's telling Tommy that, hey, you need to make this $20,000 drop off at Tony Teresi's house or whatever, because he knows who Ghost is. He knows who you are. He said your name, your full name, and he knows who Ghost is or whatever. So he might go to the feds and blow up the case and interfere. So basically, we need you to drop off this money. And so he was like, oh, this. So Tommy's like, this motherfucking greaseball. And Tommy's like, I'm not going to be some fucking errand boy for some motherfucking capo. So, Tommy's not feeling this. So anyways, Tommy is like, damn, this is some bullshit. 20 grand a week for some greaseball motherfucking mobster. So, Ghost asks, Joe Proctor to get confirmation on Teresi being involved with the hit on Roberto Stallion, a stiletto, something like that. And Tommy was like, I got this. So basically it was like a message that I believe Tommy seen the murder, or Tommy and Ghost were both at the murder, or maybe Roberto was Tommy and Ghost boy, or they seen it eye to eye, they seen the murder or whatever. But Teresi asked for Egan to drop the money off personally so Egan can go to meet, Tony Teresi's boy, which is Sammy, at his house. So Tony Teresi could confirm Egan as whoever he thinks he is. So I don't know if they know that Egan seen him commit the murder, or Egan is actually his son or not. So we'll be finding out if Egan is his son or not, probably sooner than later. So anyways, Angela, she goes to meet with Tasha, to play mind games with Tasha, to tell her, hey, jump on my team, jump on my side. Ghost ain't did nothing but lie to both of us. And or the shooting at the club, he was going back and forth between us. I offered Ghost a deal and he didn't take the deal. And it was a deal to help you and your kids so you wouldn't have to testify or be charged with anything. And he said no. And so, Angela's trying to play on Tasha and let her know that, Ghost is the enemy, not me. Like, we can work together because he hurt us both. So anyways, that mind game might kind of work on Tasha a little bit, especially it's getting tight. And then she's thinking that, Ghost might have killed Greg because of Angela and how he went after Angela. And it's all him and Angela's fault that they're going through this situation. And there ain't no money either. So it's just like, okay. So then we get to, and Angela is playing this role because John told her to get a new angle, a new target, basically to reel Tasha in. So we'll see where that goes. But it seems like Angela's gonna have a change of heart. And if she's gonna have a change of heart too late, and Tasha already flips on Ghost, but I don't know if Tasha's actually gonna really flip on Ghost, or if this is just a setup that she's doing, because we know Tasha's mad smart. So anyways, we got Tariq. He's drinking lean with, Slim, a.k.a. Cannon. And he's drinking that lean and he's like turned up. And, Tariq gets his money from the lick that he set up his boy. So, and then Tariq is in this life of setting up people, his friends. I believe Tariq might get caught. And then if Tariq gets caught with setting up people and all this other stuff, what is going to happen? Because that the St. Patrick's ain't got no money to have a lawyer or whatever. So it's gonna get weird out here. So anyways, moving on. So Tommy, goes to talk to Julia and was like, Julia, where's Dre's money? And I mean, Julio, where's Dre's money? Where's his money at or whatever? And so then Julio was like, yo, I'm gonna get that later from him or whatever. I got some other business to take care of. And so, Julio is just like, yo, what happened with Domingo? Whatever, you ran over his legs. And then, Tommy goes, what, that Dominican Shrek? And so then so Tommy was like, yo, if you would have checked him and everything, you would have checked him for his disrespect, then I wouldn't have to do it. He would still have legs right now. And so Drake, so it looks like, Tommy is just looking at Julio like, okay, I don't think you're right for this job now at this point. Because then Tommy asks Julio like, where's Dre's money at? And then also, why was you with the FBI longer than Dre? And so then Julio was like, what the fuck, Dre told you that? And so Julio was like, yo, I could have snitched in the first 5 minutes, but I didn't. And so then Tommy goes, I didn't ask you if you snitched or not. And so now this is in the back of Tommy's head, if he can trust Julio, and if Julio has the right position, because now you see that Tommy's kind of feeling what Dre said, because he has to believe a little bit of what Dre said for him to go question Julio, and then Julio responded with the wrong answer, saying, I didn't snitch. So Tommy's like, just go do your job, Julio, and get me my money by midnight if you still want to be in charge of the district or distributing or whatever. So anyways, it seems like Julio's in a tight spot, and I think Julio's thinking, okay, I got Tommy saying that Tommy ain't respecting me, he ain't telling me what's going on. I got Cristobal saying that nobody respects me or whatever. You got Dre giving me his money late, making me look bad in front of Tommy. So where is Julio gonna go with the situation? Is he going to team up with somebody, or is he going to try to get to Ghost and talk to Ghost? But he really can't do that. So what is Julio going to do? Is he going to try to take Dre out? Or even though they make up or whatever, or is he going to be coming at Tommy? Or is he going to go on a run, or he's going to snitch because he thinks his life is in danger because Tommy has been acting up? So we'll see. Or is Julio going to try to prove himself that he's the man? So we'll see what happens. And so anyways, Keisha's jealous of Tasha, because Keisha gets to Tasha's house and she see that Tommy slept over there, and she's upset, and she's all like, oh, so what do Ghost think about his best friend shacking up with his wife? Because we know Sean was a good friend of Ghost, and Tasha's was sleeping with him. So Keisha is getting jealous though, or whatever. And so Keisha was like, well, I don't know. And Keisha is like, you could see the jealousy in her face. And then Tasha was like, I met her with Angela today, and Angela told me that she offered Ghost a deal to protect me and the kids, and he turned it down. I don't know why he turned it down. I don't know why he didn't talk to me and all this other stuff. And I believe then so Keisha is like, if I was you, I'd be worrying about protecting myself. I'd be worrying about being on my side. And so, so Tasha thinks about that. She hears us saying that, oh, she wants me to snitch. She wants me to worry about myself. So Keisha is so jealous and so insecure. She's showing her true colors, and she's showing Tasha a little bit of information about herself to want to, protect herself. And then, but if Ghost goes down, they all go down, kinda. So it is gonna go down. So Keisha, you better chill out. You may be good in the bed, but Tommy and Tasha will take you out. So anyways, Tasha, she goes to meet up with Ghost, and she's like telling Ghost like, yo, your girlfriend came with a gift or whatever, and she told me that she offered you the same gift. And so Tasha's like, and I said no, but next time you need to tell me what's going on. We need to be on the same page. And so Ghost is like, yeah, we are on the same page, or I'll be on my own damn side or whatever. So Ghost is like, what are you talking about? So Ghost is thinking like, damn, Angela is really trying to get me, or is Angela sending Ghost a message? So, anyways, um, Tasha's like, next time anything happens, talk to me about it. Talk to me about it, Dale. Don't be making decisions on her own because we're supposed to be in this together. So, anyways, Julio, he goes to meet up with Dre and he gets his money. And so then, Julio was like, yo, you told Tommy that I was with that feds longer. I was in the room longer, whatever. And so then, Dre's lying. Dre was like, nah, I don't know how long you was in there or not. I don't know. I didn't tell him that. And so then Dre is like, Tommy's been acting up, been acting wild lately. And so, or Julio said Tommy's been acting up or whatever. But anyways, they end. Dre says to Julio, "Hey, listen, any beef that we had is over. No, we shouldn't have no beef, no problems, no nothing. Everything should be all good. We shouldn't, everything's over between us. That negative stuff is over between us. We leave that beef shit alone." And so they shake hands. But I know Julio got to be thinking twice. Okay, I know Dre was just like, I only told him that the FBI picked us both up, but Julio got to be paying attention to what's going on because Julio's a street person too as well. But Dre setting up the scene where Tommy and Julio might be going at each other. And Dre might have something to do with it because Dre wants Julio's spot. He got to come up with that 50 grand a week to Cannon. And then on top of that, they're going to shut down the club. They're going to shut down all the avenue of money. So he needs to do something else to get that money to Cannon because Cannon did threaten his daughter. Cannon did tell him to be loyal to your daughter, buddy. So anyways, Tasha, she already had talked to Ghost or whatever. And so Angela and Tasha look like they might be teaming up, but I don't think they're gonna be teaming up. So now we know. So anyways, Angela, she's in the office or whatever, and she's telling everybody that, hey, listen, Tasha is not going to snitch on Ghost at all. She's too loyal. And then they get a motion from Joe Proctor saying that they want to suppress the gun, and we find out the gun is not going to be able to be used in court, and the judge is going to throw it out. But John asks, Sandoval, hey, is the chain of custody correct and all this other stuff? And Sandoval's like, yeah, but Sandoval looks nervous. So Sandoval needs an out. He needs somebody else to frame this on. So is it going to be framed on Donovan, or is he actually going to get it framed on Angela, or is he going to get caught? But Donovan is the one that found the gun. So anyways, we'll see what happens. So Cristobal, he gets to the club and he goes to meet up with Dre or whatever, and he meets up with Dre. He was like, yo, Dre, what's up? How come how come you missed the payment today or whatever? You wasn't there. And then Dre's like, well, something came up and everything like that. And so Cristobal was like, what's up with Tommy? He's been acting crazy lately. So it was actually Cristobal that said Tommy's been acting crazy, not Dre or whatever. And so you hear what's his name, Dre says to the bartender, yo, give us that FN vodka. 50 got his vodka shotted out on the show, whatever. So anyways, Cristobal was like, yo, my boys is ready to get at Tommy or whatever because of what he did to Domingo or whatever. So Dre's thinking in the back of his head, if he can work along with Cristobal, and Cristobal goes after Julio, and then Tommy is going after Julio. If Tommy and Cristobal both go after Julio, then Dre can sneak right in. Or is Dre going to try to get Julio and Cristobal going at each other, or both of them to go towards Tommy, and then he sits on the outs and watch them fight among each other and collect money and become Tommy's right hand man? Or we'll see. So anyways, Julio had and so then Cristobal is saying Julio had no fucking idea that Tommy went after Domingo, whatever. So Julio ain't ready for this fucking shit. That's what Dre says. Dre was like, Julio ain't ready to be the man. He ain't ready to be distributor. So it seems like Dre is hunting for Julio's job, and he's gonna use Tommy and Cristobal to go after Julio. But is Julio gonna stop that plot or not? Or does Dre have another plot he has up his sleeve? Because he, if anything, he got to get rid of Tommy. Because if Tommy find out about Cannon and Tariq, Dre's not going to be live. So anyways, Raina, she finds money of her brother making Tariq having from all the licks that he has been doing with Cannon and Cannon's crew or whatever. And so, Tariq's like, get out of my room, you fucking snitch. You better not tell on me. You better not say shit. So it's like, oh, Tariq is being gangsta, and he's owning up to his gangsterness right now. But it seems like if Tommy or Tasha would bring Tariq in to let him know what's going on, let them know how their daddy really is and what they need to do and the situation, Tariq might switch up and be on his father and his mother's side, because all he wants is respect and to be treated like an adult and not to be lied to. So, and he wants to feel like he can actually help, he can contribute to the situation, which that's what's Cannon, that is exactly what Cannon's doing with Tariq, making him feel like a man, making him feel like he's smart, making him feel like, he's in charge of something, he's not a kid. So anyways, we get Donovan, he takes the stand or whatever to, about the situation with Ghost. He takes the stand, and then, Joe Proctor eats him up like, you was there 40 minutes before anybody else showed up. You probably planted the evidence, and you probably planted the gun, and it doesn't make any sense for Ghost to sneak in and kill an FBI agent, escape, and then go to his club and plant the gun. It doesn't make any sense. You don't like, Ghost, right? And he goes, yeah. Then, Donovan starts yelling, saying that he's a criminal, he's this, he's that, and all this other stuff. And now he looks like the angry black man on trial. And so Terry looks at Ghost, see, I told you, angry black man. And so basically with that behavior, the gun gets thrown out. So the gun cannot be used against Ghost. So how much evidence do they have now? They have the DNA from they have the fingerprints on the window, and they have, Ghost DNA under Greg Knox fingers, but Greg Knox did pull him over for a traffic stop. So they're running out of evidence. So that's why I'm thinking that they're going to get that former guy that used to work for Ghost, that used to manage the club, I think his name is Josh, to come in or whatever. So anyways, with that, Tommy meets up with, Sammy, which is, Tony Teresi's boy. So, Tommy meets up with him. He was like, yo, is this the house? Blah, blah, blah. Tommy goes in, and Tommy was like, oh, this is what retired gangsters do. They watch Judge Judy or whatever. And so then, Tommy's trying to question Sammy, like, oh, what's going on? What did you do? What work did you put out in the street? Was you down with killing, Tessa? Was you down with killing John Gotti's, son? Was you in it with, what's his name? What is killing Castellano? Or was you down with killing Roberto? And so then that's when Sammy looked up, like, okay, like he was on to something. So now Sammy confirms that Egan is the person that he thinks he is to, Tony. And so Egan also confirms to Ghost that, Sammy and Tony Teresi are the people that was involved with Roberto Stallion's killing or whatever. So how is this going to interact? How is this going to work out? So who's this guy Roberta, and who do Sammy and Tony Teresi think Egan is Egan his son, or were they witnessing a murder, or did they kill somebody that they know? Because we know Tony Teresi knows who Egan is, and so do Sammy. Sammy was like, yes. When Sammy talked to Tony after Egan left, Sammy said to Tony, like, yeah, that's him. It's him. I'm for sure it's him. So, and we know, Tommy's mother was she's on drugs a little bit. And she was wild and fast back in her day, probably. And she probably hung out with them type of mobsters. Because I think she did. So, but I don't know if it has to do with some murders. So we'll see. So, anyways, um, what's his name? Joe Proctor, he gives all the information back to Ghost and everything like that. The information from Tommy and all that. And then working on trying to get William, aka Charlie Murphy, transferred to another prison. And so, anyways, Bailey, Bailey calls up Joe Proctor to talk to Joe Proctor. No, Joe Proctor calls Bailey, I believe, was like, yo, maybe we can work together because this and that and this and that. And so then Bailey was like, yo, I just want to prove that Greg had nothing to do with it. And basically, I got a recording. You're going to have to choose which client you want to really represent, basically. And so, Joe Proctor knows this is recordings from Ruiz being killed because Ghost set that up where Ruiz was supposed to, set Milan up or whatever. And Tommy jumped in to kill Ruiz, and Tommy said at the end when he was killing Ruiz, when he was looking under his Ruiz whatever, when he was looking under his hood, was like, I didn't do this to you, Ghost did it to you, because Ghost was supposed to leave the situation alone and let Tommy handle Milan or whatever. So anyways, Tommy made the drop, and he's for sure that Sammy and Tony Terezzi are the dudes that was involved in Roberta Stallion's killing. So anyways, Tommy and Keisha meet up, and so Keisha's like, yo, won't you worry about me and my kid? I got a kid too, because Tommy was like, I'm looking after Tasha and her kid. And so Tommy and Keisha, they have sex or whatever, blah blah blah. But she's really just throwing the hints that she's jealous. And Tasha's gonna start questioning her very quickly, and Tommy is probably tired of hearing the bullshit from her talking about Tasha, because Tasha's his home girl. So anyways, so Tariq sets up another friend of his. He gets the code. Cannon gets out the car with his boy. On the van it says adult daycare. How cool is that? Adult daycare. They pull the van up in front of the house, and you got two women in the neighborhood with strollers, and they know Cannon and his boy don't fit in the neighborhood, or they never seen them before. So then the cop comes out the car and was like, hey, how long are you guys gonna be parked here? Cannon goes, we're only gonna be here for a while, officer. We have the right permit. So the neighbors looked, and they're like, okay, the cops are on these dudes, and they laugh. So anyways, Tariq is upstairs getting high with his boy. They're drinking that lean. Tariq is drinking lean like it ain't nobody's business. And so then Cannon's boy makes a noise and knock over something because he was looking for some powder or some drugs. And then Tariq's boy is like, yo, let's call the security system, that noise working. Tariq is like, no, we can't do that. We're drinking lean. And so, Tariq's boy was like, let me go check. Tariq's like, nah, let me go check. So Tariq goes downstairs. He was like, yo, keep it the fuck down here. These guys are making too much noise. Kenan was like, homeboy knocked over something. So then Tariq yells up there to tell his boy that, oh, the cat knocked over something. And so then Tariq tells Kenan, hurry the fuck up and get out of here, man. And so then Kenan looks back at Tariq like, yeah, he's becoming a real soldier. Like, he's talking shit back to me. But you already know Tariq has James St. Patrick's blood. That's his father. And then James St. Patrick was trained by Cannon. So now he's getting trained by, now Tariq is being trained by Cannon, but he has his father's brain. He has his blood running through his system, and his mom is mad smart too. So if they just give Tariq some, make him feel important, like he's in charge, he might switch sides. And then Dre will be dead, right? So anyways, so moving on from that, that shit was so funny. He was like, okay, officer, and they all smile at each other. So then Tommy meets up with Bailey or whatever, and Bailey was like, yo, you're gonna have to choose between both clients because I got information about, Ghost and Tommy, the recording that Ruiz made or whatever. And so then, and he was like, you're gonna have to choose, Ghost is gonna have to flip on Tommy and then clear clear, Greg's name or whatever. So then, Tommy comes out the corner, stabs him up, cut him up. And then, Joe's just like, damn, Joe's just like, okay. So Tommy was like, we in this together. We in this together. So you can never drop a dime on me. You can never have anybody flip on me or thinking about having ghosts flip on me. That's not going to happen because now I got something on you. And he takes the knife. He wipes the blood on Joe Proctor's, clothes. But Tommy leaves the laptop. If I was Tommy, I would have took the laptop. Joe Proctor convinced him that, hey, leave the laptop with me, because we don't know if this is the only copy. But I don't know why nobody's calling Mexico to find out that Sandoval was working with Lobos like Greg did. So anyways, Joe Proctor was like, yo, I'll take care of everything. I'll take care of the body. I'll take care of this. I got some people that'll handle it. So anyways, it's crazy. I don't know if that was a good move for Tommy. It might be a good move. Either way, it's like a 50-50 move. Because, the judge said that evidence cannot be obtained in court because it was obtained illegally. So I don't know if it was a good move for Tommy to kill Bailey, because isn't Sandoval going to come looking for Bailey? Will the prosecution go looking for Bailey to see what he got to say if they need his help? Because right now their case is going bad. But it is what it is. So anyways, the FBI closes the club. Dre was like, yo, Julio, give me a call right now. Shit got real. And then Keisha, she's leaving her salon, and the FBI closed it down. And she's calling Tasha. Tasha's on the elevator with the kids, running around like crazy, trying to find out what's going on, but she's not paying attention to Tariq. And Tariq just goes back down the elevator, and he goes to chill with Cannon, and he's getting high. He's about to get his first piece of pussy or whatever. But Tariq also asks the girl, like, did Slim set you up to do this? And so the girl's like, Slim? And then she was like, oh shit, he doesn't even know that's really Cannon. So she was like, nah, it's my choice or whatever. And so she asks Tariq, ain't your parents worried about you? Do they know that you're here or whatever? He was like, hell no. And so then Tariq asked her the same questions, and she was like, my parents don't give a fuck about me. So maybe this would give Tariq something to think about, that he actually got parents that care for him. Maybe he might have a coming to real moment that he needs to be there with his moms or whatever. So anyways, it's going down. So the clubs are closed and everything. And Tariq, so then, Dre goes to, Cannon's house or whatever, gives him his 50 G's and was like, yo, listen, this money ain't going to be coming in no more because all the Ghost's business has been seized and closed down. Cannon was like, that sounds like your problem. That sounds like you got a problem. I don't care how you get my money, just give me my money. And so then Tariq walks in, and so, Dre was like, what is Tariq doing here? And so then Dre's like, damn, why is he here chilling or whatever? Cannon was like, whatever, just make sure you give me my money. And so, Cannon says to Dre, you need to be loyal to your daughter, not loyal to Ghost and Tariq. You need to worry about your daughter and give me my money. And so, that got Dre thinking he got to make moves quick and soon, because he doesn't know what Cannon has prepared for Tariq, and if he has something prepared for Tariq that's gonna blow the cover, then it might blow Dre's cover of him knowing that Cannon's alive. So we'll see what happens. And so then we find out that Joe Proctor is thrown off the goddamn case. He's thrown off the case. It's a conflict of interest. So Terry Silver will be taking control of the case. And Angela, Joe Proctor sees Angela and said, Ghost did everything for you. He turned his back on everybody for you, motherfucking bitch. And so that gun's not his. And so then Angela's having some second thoughts, and she goes in and she checks the footage, and she sees that the last person to log off was Sandoval. So she's gonna start looking at Sandoval and questioning his behaviors. And is somebody gonna track down Greg Knox's last phone call? What the fuck? So anyway, so then after that, Angela realizes that Ghost did not hide a gun or plant a gun, because they show footage, the last footage of him being out before he got locked up, that he didn't plan, or he didn't plant a gun, he didn't hide a gun, he didn't conceal a gun. So now she knows that there is a mole, and it's not her, and it wasn't Greg, so who it is. So now she knows Ghost is telling the truth. So we'll see if it's too late for her to really help Ghost, because maybe she got Tasha to switch up, but we'll see. We'll find out. It's gonna be good. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.